was very excited to go there. Like
Yeah.
out of, for the fact that I haven't really worked with a lot of brands
Hmm.
before, based on my reputation, even after trying to push. Yes, it's been good for the DJing side, but
Hmm.
my passion is to boost brand awareness.
Hmm.
I've studied for marketing actually, so
Oh.
I was excited when
Hmm.
my PR manager, someone I really trust, to
Hmm.
call me and say, "Hey, we're going to Russia."
Mm.
I was just like, ah,
Mm.
a lot of people were things happening that side. Are you sure?
Hmm.
And I was like, you know what? I pretty much trust this person. So I went there out of excitement, out of, an opportunity to finally boost brand awareness and make a difference in a brand and use that to my advantage to work with other brands. So yeah, my experience was pretty, I mean,
Break it down for us. Okay. You hear
mm,
about it. You're excited.
I was excited, eh?
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what happens? You go to Russia, right?
Mm.
You flying to Russia and getting there. Um, and then you being in Russia, what is the experience?
Obviously, I think even if there were some bit of glitches that I'm about to mention,
Yeah.
but don't forget that I'm excited for the fact that I'm working with a brand.
Okay.
So certain things like not being able to eat for hours, like for the fact that we can't use like cash, dollars, cards, nothing. Like we couldn't use anything, so we had to fully.
So
So
are they not making sure that you're eating?
I mean, that was the first red flag. They
Mm.
didn't. Time, how time was, they would be like 12, you have to be ready, but then they fetch me at like 4 p.m. and they're just thinking I'm chilling and waiting
Mhm.
for them. There was a lot of unprofessionalism in the picture. There were certain girls that I had to interview, and I like to chill with girls and ask them on the side, even
Mhm.
irregardless of the, you know, cameras being around. But I always try to have an opportunity. I did.
So maybe for someone that might be watching this for the very first time and then actually not familiar with this. This is obviously a program that was marketed for people from the age of 18 to 23, right?
Yes,
A program for people to work in Russia.
yes,
Because I mean, we have an issue in SA.
yeah,
Unemployment is very high.
very high.
So this obviously looks like an amazing opportunity.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you offered housing, and then I had to go there to kind of like check the housing, how it is, promote to show the ladies. Targeted a lot of like other African girls like Kenya, Uganda, Afghanistan. So South Africa is what was needed.
Hmm.
I needed to promote and push the South African side of things to let young girls know that they can actually get a job in
Hmm.
Russia. So you can work like from a helper to a chef,
Hmm.
from a driver. Actually, I don't remember the other ones, but there's just quite a lot of things that
Yeah.
you can do. And you get paid for that. You get paid fair. The only problem that the girls had when I interviewed them was like they have to work like for almost 16 hours.
That's
Those
crazy.
basic, yeah.
16 hours.
Yeah, so they were not happy with that. And even if they couldn't really share like most of the things, but I would ask them like out of 10, hey, how do you feel?
Mm.
They'd be like 5,
Mm.
6. So you can tell that they're not really going through the worst thing, but there were others then that experienced differently who
And
couldn't.
where you were there, what
Yes.
work were they doing?
A lot of girls that I had to interview. So
Yeah.
others were already chefs, others were already studying. So you have to learn Russian language for a specific time. And then eventually, after you're done with that, you go through this and then and then and then. So yeah, others obviously weren't super happy with the experience. I think I had put it out on my YouTube
Hmm.
of one of the experience I've had with one lady who was just crying because of a roommate.
Mm.
Some people, don't treat us fairly, but I think if you can report it like higher people that
Mhm.
are controlling that specific space, I think, yeah, a difference could have been made.
Mhm.
But yeah, the alleged trafficking, the human trafficking, like, it's not something I knew, and I didn't know that if I would have been part of that, like, you know, this was the
Your name
consequences
will
of
be attached to
exactly.
human
So
trafficking.
yeah, it's been horrible. It's been a roller coaster. The last week has been just a really dark tunnel for me.
Mhm.
So yeah,
And then with you going through your manager,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We all expect our managers to have our best interests at heart.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
honestly, having a manager is someone that has to boost your brand and
Most
has to have
definitely.
a passion in, working on your brand and making it better. So I've always trusted her based on that. So
Okay. So when you start hearing that, hey, there must be something suspicious, how do you find out? What happens?
yeah. So The only time I found out is okay, the suspicion is obviously when I was in Russia. So I
Okay.
send my tomorrow. I know I have stuff to do tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday. I'm going to South Africa because Gukona into off, and I know it seems like I'm not keeping up to a contract or I'm not doing the right thing right now, but I genuinely feel like this is the right thing to do. So they were
Mm.
like, okay, you can go, but either or, you have to post.
Okay.
You are in a binding contract, binding contract, and
Mhm.
you have to keep up to your word and what you. I posted one video
Okay.
on my Instagram, and that's when I saw the comments and everyone just saying, "Oh my gosh, this is so suspicious," and it went straight to TikTok, and after that, it went to Twitter.
What were
And
the concerns in the comments of the people?
the age, why ladies only? Why
The age was between 18 and
18?
23.
Yeah, 18 to 23. And I
Okay.
even asked them like, why? So
Mhm.
the answer I got, because I had those answers. I mean, I had those
Questions.
questions.
Yeah.
Yes, executive, main lady, the influencing lady, the marketing lady, the boss of this. I met all of them and I asked them like, why is it only 18 to 23-year-olds? And they were just like, they're easier to adjust to the language.
Oh,
That was my
yes.
answer. They were like, no, they're easier to adjust to a language because it's a necessity for them to learn Russian. So when you're 25 and 26, you can't really adjust
Yeah.
quickly. So that was their
It
answer,
says it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was their answer. And those confident in their answers, like, kind of gave me the comfortability to still, push the brand as required, also to just make my manager happy so she can get me more other gigs.
Mhm.
But I didn't know that this is the extent I was gonna,
Mm.
yeah. So I was actually very shocked to find out of everything. And yeah, immediately when I found out, I just had to delete, mind you, there's 45 other influencers that when they
Mhm.
posted Instagrams,
Mm.
YouTubes,
Mm.
TikToks, nothing happened.
When?
Yeah, but only after I posted mine. So with them, they still
So
had their
this came through only after you. It was alarming
yeah,
to the people.
yeah. They had
Why do you think you were triggering the situation?
I feel like I hope this is not egotistic, but I'm
Yeah.
I'm a powerhouse and I have really loyal people that would be so excited to see me working with a brand because it's
Mm.
not something that I'm familiar with. I just do get ready with me's, I
Mhm.
just DJ, but
Mm.
there are some people that then try to get the negative out of it.
Mhm.
And yeah, I think that's why, I was the main person
So
that
you think because people are not used to you working with brands,
yeah.
they find that, hey man, there might be something
Bare
happening here.
kukhona into off la. Sisisayen.
Mm.
In this,
Mm.
there's something off. So they dug deep into it. And, I wish I had to do that before even rushing to Russia. The work
Yeah.
of, checking up on the history of this instead of depending on a manager.
Mhm.
I had to do this because I am the only one that worked hard to get to where I am, not my manager.
Most definitely.
I just met her and I just trusted her because she worked with bigger brands, like
Mm.
big people, big artists,
Mhm.
so you can trust people based on that. But then I definitely had to do the research and I will always feel bad for that.
Damn. For us, maybe just watching you saying, okay, she lost. I don't think people understand the implications of your brand being associated with human trafficker.
Yeah.
It's
It's
crazy.
yeah, it's so crazy. Like it's so crazy.
And unfortunately, it might be there for a very long time. Because when something is on your Google, it stays there as your Google. Even if something is not true, it's not a fact, it stays there.
Yeah. I was telling my PA yesterday that you know what, there's so many non-factual things about me on Google, but I still Google. I still use
Thing up, then what are non-factual things about Cyan Boujee?
Ooh, there's so many. I
Yeah,
just
let's
wanna
go.
but
Let's talk
more than
about it.
anything, I just
Yeah.
wanna get over this first
Okay.
to actually say that I'm not trying to cover myself up, but for example, if you are
Yeah.
working here and you're sitting on this couch and we're
Yeah.
in this lounge, you don't know the history of this,
Yeah.
but it's kind of like your responsibility now,
Mhm.
especially based on what I went through. So I feel like I'm a testimony for ladies to like take this as like to really be careful because
Do
you
due
never know.
diligence.
Like
Whatever you get
exactly,
yourself involved in.
like the sensitivity in my tone. I think that's quite demanding, especially after something like this has happened. I feel like I had to tone down a bit and like just really be genuinely sorry about the
Because that's the one
situation.
thing that we
Because
spoke about.
yeah,
Because
because this
I
was a
thought
loss. This was a big
maybe
loss.
the way you address people on social media, they
Mm,
felt like maybe you don't care. And based on certain things that they saw, they seeing you on a holiday when this is happening.
Oh,
So it's like
I
room.
mm, mm.
This happened at the time it was your
It
birthday.
was my birthday. I had the worst birthday of my life because I'm a human trafficker, allegedly. So I lost a lot. I lost, some bit of dignity.
Mhm.
I have a lot of anxiety. I lost my TikTok account. I lost quite a number of brands, like,
Do
trying
you
to.
think you handled the situation correctly?
Absolutely not. And that's why I'm saying, Hore, the accountability I have to take is I'm demanding sensitivity from my tone from now on, how
Mhm.
I speak and how I address situations.
Mm.
And you live to learn. This is absolutely a learning curve for me. And if I had to do something like this again, I think then you would know that, oh, nah, this girl, nah, you know? So yeah, I'm sorry to everybody, but also shame to the influencers that really depended on this. They have followers and they make so much money from actual followers. So it's just so hard for everybody right now. Like, it's a dark time. At the end of the tunnel is always sunshine.
And I
So
think it's a learning curve for all of us, never mind you.
mm. The
I-
kids also that
yes,
are watching me.
everybody. Like I think everybody, the kids, the older people, because even me, when I saw this, I was like, you know what, Tito, you've been doing a lot of brand work, and sometimes you don't read through all the contracts
Don't.
fully. And it's important that I feel everyone that's in the entertainment industry, whether you're a musician, whether you're an actor, do your due diligence in making sure that everything that you involve yourself in is something that's respectable, is something that doesn't have no implications that can get you in trouble.
No matter how much they give, hey?
Yes, because sometimes I mean we from South Africa, the bag is like when you see the bag, sometimes you forget everything
Ish.
else.
You see the back. Ciao.
And I know you love the bag.
Yeah,
So to go through everything.
absolutely. Yo, this was crazy, my nigga.
Mm,
You don't understand. When I came back from the airport
mhm.
and I landed in South Africa, that's when I saw her. Okay, this is crazy.
Why? What happened?
Oh, everyone's just running to me. Like, a lot of people, like the workers at the airport, like, oh my gosh, it was just so crazy. Like, I had to
What
just
you mean
like
running to you?
to tell me what's happening.
Oh,
Yeah, to tell me
yeah,
what's happening besides the pictures. But I saw the negativity out of it. South Africans can come approach you, I
yeah.
no marashi, yeah, you are like, okay, I need to calm down and I need to realize the situation, reflect, and kind of like remember my visions also
Mhm.
of life and how I can accomplish them without like staying negative and having that attitude of like just, not giving a fuck. Like, I really
Mm,
had to, yeah, for sure. So this is a huge learning curve for me. And yeah,
damn.
but more than anything,
Mhm.
I'm a victim, Tito, okay? I'm still a victim. And even if I'm sorry for able to, represent myself properly out of the situation, but I still believe that I'm a victim.
Mm,
And I hope that everybody else learns from this situation, like literally, because it was bad. It was bad for everybody. Bad for everybody.
mm,
My team, my family,
mm.
everyone is receiving the backlash. It's not just me. Don't
Really?
think I'm the only one that was involved in this.
Mm,
Now there's family involved. There's my hairstylist, my makeup artist, my PAs,
mm,
and all of that. Like, it was tough for everybody.
mm.
And yeah, so I hope, people can learn from this definitely. And
Yeah, man. Just a message to the young ladies out there, like guys, be careful
be
because
careful.
this situation can literally happen to anybody.
I feel
I
like I
yeah,
fully addressed the situation, but I just want to add some bit of emotion in the picture.
yeah.
I feel like I am who I am because of every